Good morning, all you lovely people. Welcome back again to Grumpy Old Git in the Corner on a overcast Friday. Cold, but it looks like it's going to piss down with rain very, very shortly. I think that's going to be countrywide. But anyway, today, now there's a lot of people out there saying Comrades Starmer and Reeves will be resigning. I wouldn't bet on that, to be honest. The only way they're going to go is if they're pushed or removed, I think. You know, they're that arrogant that they can't resign. Not in my opinion, anyway. We know that others that have just hung on for a lot less. But with the deceptions and the lies and everything and the scandals linked to these two, you know, how are they even still there? You know, any normal person would have been gone by now. Unbelievable. But moving on now, we got another very serious police failure. This time with the Hampshire police again, which have been in the news before. You know, with the story that broke yesterday on mainstream media, it was the first I'd heard about it. About the carer who sent a friend allegedly to do her job. And what made this worse was it was a live-in job, caring for an elderly gentleman who'd had strokes and other issues. But she was caught out when the family decided to compare a photograph they'd got of her to one from the company that recommended her. Now this was only after 3 weeks, mind. She'd been there living in for 3 weeks, giving this gentleman dangerous drugs which he needed to keep him alive and keep him going. And they complained that the standard of care wasn't up to par to the company that supplied her. But they were having none of it. No, we've got all the details and the qualifications. I won't go into it too far. I mean, it's all out there anyway. But once they compared the photograph of her to the person that should have been there, they were two different women. Now, it was only after the company and, well, yeah, the company and the family, I do believe, complained to Hampshire police that this was going on. And they refused to look into it. They refused to investigate, saying there wasn't enough evidence. Well, the evidence was there. It's two different people, you know. But once mainstream media got involved, they actually tracked down the woman who was supposed to be there. And after denying it, she had to admit it when presented with the photographs. Hampshire police backtracked and decided to put out a statement saying, we will investigate it. Now, if that had been someone reporting somebody for 30 words, they wouldn't have needed any evidence. They wouldn't have needed to investigate. They'd have just gone and kicked the fucking door in, wouldn't they? And turned up mob-handed. Within minutes. This is how the police are in this country now. It is more of a crime to say 30 words or disagree with somebody over the internet than it is to actually commit a crime. Unbelievable. But in other news yesterday, the COVID inquiry still continues for those that don't realise. And as I said the other day, it was the fraudster Hancock's turn in the hot seat. Again, I won't go into it all. There's plenty of videos of it out there. I mean, it was 6-7 hours long. So I'm not going to go into that. But all the way through it, I did watch a lot of it. He was squirming in his seat, shifting about, stuttering all over the place, couldn't answer questions. He was constantly being told to shut up because he was deflecting the questions and giving the wrong answers. Constantly blaming everybody else bar himself. You know, we know right from the beginning nothing was ever his fault, was it? You know, never. No. So nothing has changed with him. He's still as corrupt as ever. And as I said, this COVID inquiry is going to go on for years. We're not going to hear anything about it for another couple of years yet. There's several more modules to go. Nobody's really being held accountable, although, as I've said before, the courts have deemed that some of the transactions around it were fraudulent, etc. They've admitted that they killed people unnecessarily. But again, nothing gets done. But there you go. But anyway, going into the weekend, I hope everybody's ready for Storm Bert. What a fucking name for a storm is that? Bert. You know, if you believe the warnings, Bert's going to throw everything at us. Snowstorms, pissing down rain, flooding, freezing temperatures, and storm force winds up to 70 miles an hour. Okay, that's what they tell us anyway. But I would, with these temperatures, if you've got any friends or elderly neighbours that you're on speaking terms with, I know some of them are a bit cantankerous and don't want any company or anything, but do give them a knock on the door. Give them a courtesy knock just to check that they're okay, basically. Because, you know, a lot of them now aren't going to have the money to heat their homes, you know, let alone feed themselves properly. So just give them a check. You know, be a good neighbour. Right guys, I'll leave it there for today. Don't forget tonight, Mrs. W live, so if you're one of the few regulars that come in, want us to have a chat with friends, etc., and catch up, feel free. As always, it will be run on zero tolerance, as both our live streams are. We don't play for clowns. But until then, as always, stay safe, stay strong, and stay free from the bullshit. Respects, guys.